I'm not the drummer of this band. Only on albums. I'm going to do guitar and vocals live. And that's a whole different challenge, and I'm factoring all that into the way I write the songs, you know. Luckily, though, I'm already a drummer. So it's just a question of, you know, I can play guitar, I can sing, let's put them together.
Hey, what's up, Vox and Hops heads? I'm Matt, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast, brought to you by Sound Talent Media and Evergreen Podcasts, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians, talk all about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. I hope you had an amazing week. I most certainly did. This Vox and Hops episode is presented by Heavy Montreal. Heavy Montreal are Montreal's premier metal promoter. They put on a bunch of amazing metal shows all year long here in Montreal, and trust me when I say this, if you are ever in Montreal and you would love to go see a great metal show, well, I can guarantee you that Heavy Montreal will have you covered. I'm beyond stoked to have Heavy Montreal behind the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast. Today on the podcast, I'm very stoked that Simon McKay is back on the podcast. Get ready, everyone. This is Vox and Hops, episode number 479.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Today I'm very stoked to be back with Simon McKay, my good friend. I've known him for probably 20 years at this point, if not 15 to 20 years, in that ballpark. A Vox and Hops alumni returning to the podcast. First time on Zoom, last time was face-to-face on Park Avenue, I want to say, at a Fritilar, which is a French fry place in front of Fairmount Theater, which I do not believe exists anymore. We were drinking Boreals Nord-Est, episode number 81, and now I'm up over 470. So it's a long overdue conversation. Simon, how you doing?
That's crazy, man. I'm doing great. It's really good to know you've done so many episodes by now. That's like wicked, dude. Good for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it very much. I like hanging out with my metal friends, talking about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. But as you mentioned right before I pushed record over here, you're taking a break. So what are you drinking on your side right now?
Oh, I'm just drinking a cheesy little kombucha, you know. Just,
Rise.
Yeah.
What's that flavor? What's that flavor?
Good old peach mango, you know.
Oh, that's nice. I thought it was blue. I thought it looked blue.
That's weird. That is weird. I don't know what's up with that. I don't think there's food coloring in here. It's supposed to be like healthy and crap.
Probably some like natural derivative thing that makes it blue. Some algae or something beyond healthy that's just making it great.
Friggin' SCOBY or whatever.
On my side, I'm going to be drinking Two Tails Pills from Cinquième Baron. Cinquième Baron are a great brewery out of Gatineau on the other side of Ottawa. I have visited there once. I love the crew behind there. They have a very strong mental picture, there's a word for this, of what they want to do with beer. They put up with the whole hazy IPA thing, but what they really, really like are old school lagers and old school style beers, but they still make really good haze because when you're a brewery and you want to survive, you have to sell beer and you got to make IPAs. But this is their Pilsner, 5%. It's delicious. I'm going to crack this and I'd love to, hear about you taking a break from beer, if that's something you want to talk about. Is that something you do often? And let's start with that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I mean, basically, like right now, I mean, I'll take breaks every so often. It's good to do that. I mean, of course, I love my beer. I love my craft beer. You know, I like drinking Cheers, man. Cheers with my shitty kombucha. I like I like my IPAs and my stouts and all that, and just simple pilsners, but. Let's just say that the past couple of weeks, man, there were so many shows. All my friends, this time of year, it's just like crazy. It's like literally every single day. So, of course, you're going out to the shows, you're hanging out, you're having drinks, you're getting home super late, and it's just like it's like I'm on tour, but I'm at home,
I'm about to go on tour, so I feel you there. And September, well, let's just say Montreal in general is insane with the amount of shows that come through here.
Oh, it's incredible.
And the more that we've toured and the more that you know people, the amount of invitations that we get where we have to go out and hang with people and say hi to our friends, which is no, we don't have to. It's a pleasure to do so. But it's really physically hard to hit them all and party as hard as if you were on tour.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. It's like day after day. And the thing is, like, you want to see all of them. And, because the people you meet on tour, as you form a really special bond. Even if you're on tour with someone for like 2 weeks, and it's like you're friends for life. Like, that's always how it works.
It's like
and,
summer camp.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to say, but I'm mainly impressed at the turnout in my city, night after night, show after show. Sold out, sold out again, and people moshing like crazy, on a work night. Just that's the beauty of Montreal. It's all the national bands, international bands know the Montreal show is going to be good. Because
yes, it's because we show up and we bring it. How they do it and people's budgets. I'm proud of their budget management. Or they're maybe just don't have a budget management and they're just smashing themselves into debt to support the metal scene and keep our reputation as high standards as it is.
Something like that, man. I don't know. It's impressive, and not only that, but people have fun. People let themselves go here. That's what I love about Montreal crowd. We're not afraid to have fun. Some places you go and like people are like standing still like a statue and they've got their arms crossed. They look like nervous, and then they'll come up to you after and they're like, "That was the best set I've ever seen in my life."
And
like,
meanwhile,
really?
Us on stage, we're like, "They
like,
suck.
They hate us." Yeah, you're just
guys.
like, but it's because they're shy. They're shy to, or it could be many reasons, of course. But people are not shy here.
How do you go and have fun at a show? Because I am in mosh retirement. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't mosh, dude. I mean, like. If it's a band, if it's one of my top three, man, I'm going to get in there for sure. Absolutely. For example, when last time I saw Emperor, I just went nuts. I went in the pit. It was heavy MTL.
Hell
it was
yes, I remember that night. It was such a beautiful day.
It was like a thunderstorm. There was like feet of mud, man. I didn't give a shit. I was like a wild animal. But in general, I like to watch the bands. Like I just love watching bands. And often, I get invitations to come hang out. I'd actually prefer to watch the bands and hang out after, because like I don't want to miss the show. And I never miss the opener. Never miss the opener. I always show up for the first band because, man, especially lately, like a lot of the first bands I've seen have really impressed me. Like, for example, I'm going to shout one out right now.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah. The band Cloak. I saw them.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what a great, satisfying band. Like rock and roll, black metal, but like still satisfyingly heavy enough. I was just like, yeah, hell yeah, I love this, And I mean, too many others to name. So I just love watching great bands, and there's just so many of them.
We live in a beautiful city, and we're lucky to be there. So keep supporting people, and I will keep coming out and hanging out when I can, drinking responsibly, and doing what I got to do.
Hell yeah, man.
You had a crazy year. I got to ask, and you know where I'm going. The Agonist is on a hiatus, which allowed you to open up and do so much more session work. There's a solo album in the works. I don't know how much you want to talk about this. I am your friend, so I know a lot of info.
Yeah. That's whatever you want, dude.
So let's just say the Agonist. I don't want to dig into that. That's not what I'm thinking about. But it took some time for you to like go from that the Agonist is on hiatus to I need to keep playing drums. I'd like to hear about that.
Yeah, it's funny how you say hiatus though, because I mean we're broken up. We're not on hiatus.
Okay.
But you're saying that because maybe you're my friend and you you hope we'll get back together or something.
I'm ready for that reunion. I know that the money is going to come in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms, dude. But what was the question again? Sorry.
At what point did the Agonist break up, since you're putting it that way, between the breakup and then you realizing right away that, or realizing at what point that you still needed to have drums in your life?
Well, that was like basically when I knew that things were going to happen. I just started arranging my life so that like, okay, I'm going to go into session mode. Like I don't want to stop, so that's exactly what I did. I started reaching out. I started, just basically telling people I'm available, and one thing led to another. It snowballed, and by now, I don't know, I've done like 8 or 9 albums or something like that. Like, I got another 2 in the bank that I'm going to do. But Yeah, to be honest with you, it's cool. I got the experience, but I can't wait to take a little break from doing sessions. Actually, that's where I'm at now.
Really? Okay. So
yeah.
What is the major difference between this is my band and then this is a session work?
So many differences, dude. First of all, you know exactly how much you're getting paid.
That is true.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's a positive, though.
Yeah, for sure. There's negatives. Absolutely. There's a lot of negatives. I mean, part of the reason why I'm taking a break is because, well, the main reason I'm taking a break is because I need to go 100% on my solo project. We can talk about that later if you want, but the main thing is that, beyond that, it's kind of got me feeling a bit robotic,
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and I think it's my own fault. I think it's my work process to do these things is like, I mean, I actually put a lot of work on myself, to do these sessions. The way I'll do it is essentially, in a nutshell, I will get people's guitar tracks. I'll program drums over it because I'm really good and fast at programming drums, and I know exactly what I want to play here and there, and that's just something I'm really good at, and so we'll send back revisions because I tell them, I'm like, we can do this until you're happy. Well, yeah, so sometimes I get like a lot of revisions, and for me, that's like, the first time I programmed drums for you, that's how I envisioned it, and it's like, I have a lot of experience, and you can choose to believe me and think this is good, or you can, put your own ideas in there. And it's not about putting your own ideas, but more like, it's like the vision, and like,
because when guitarists write riffs, they tend to have a drum beat in mind.
For sure.
Experience.
Yeah, so I've learned I've done different kinds. I've done like, I'm going to completely ignore your drums. I've done like, I'm going to follow your drums. It's all about what they want because they're paying me for the session. Unfortunately, that's kind of creatively stifling a little bit. I'm doing a great job, but where there's so many revisions that what ends up happening is that it depends on the project. I mean, there could just be like so many fills. It's like ridiculous. And then I have to go learn I've programmed.
Yes.
And I learn it note for note. Like because that's exactly
what
I
they
want.
approved. Yeah.
That's what they approved. That's what they're going to get. So like that takes a long time, dude. And I don't have a place to record drums here. Like I have to go hire an engineer. I have to book a studio. I have to, on top of that, I have to rehearse everything. And I don't have drums here either. So I've got to go to my jam pad. And I really take my time with the rehearsing. So basically, like, I take 1 month to rehearse for one recording.
On top of the programming and the revisions and...
Yeah, on top of that. And, 1 month is also because I have only a certain amount of days in the week that I'm able to access my jam spot because I share it with friends.
Wonderful humans that I'm not going to name drop that should give you more time.
Yeah, wonderful humans. Yeah, exactly. So it's like I only have a certain amount of days, certain amount of time in the day. I work a full-time job too. I mean, let's be honest. So it takes a long time. And then after all that, I have to track it, and then I have to edit the drums because I do not trust anyone else to edit my own drums.
Ooh, so that's interesting.
Yeah, because people make like crazy mistakes. I'm like, how could you do that? Just recently, last time I got Remy, the guy that is basically Chris's protege engineer, let's say.
Yeah, shout out to Chris and Remy, of course. Christian Donaldson from Cryptopsy, obviously.
Yes, sir. And I got him to edit my drums last time because I was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this time. I'll pay you to do it.
That's a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah, and this project was a demanding project, like, very fast, lots of stuff going on. So he did it, and that's cool.
You were satisfied? He did it justice.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, okay. He did a good job.
Because I was going to ask you, like, you trust Chris to edit your drums because he is very...
Oh, I trust Chris.
Yeah.
I trust Chris. Oh, yeah. But I don't trust anyone. Yeah. Let's be clear here. Yeah.
But everything you're saying, everything that I'm hearing is telling me that you're not charging enough.
Yeah, I'm not, and I did up my prices a little bit, but it's still not enough for
everything you're putting in. Because even for myself, like people have been shooting me to do guest Vox, and I raised my price in the summer, and then I was talking about it with Jess, my wife, and I raise my price again because it's just the time and the people we have to hire and the studio time and all that stuff. And then if they want a video, you know, we need to, it gets even higher. So people say no, and I'm okay with that. But for yourself, that's session work when you were like hungrily getting out of the Agonist, you just wanted to play.
Exactly. Yeah. I just wanted to have continuity, you know, because that was a big deal for me to break up the band, and it still is. And it did leave a void in my life, man. Like, gonna be honest with you, and you know, and I'm still working out how to fill that void. But basically, how I have to fill it is with my solo project, because it's something I've been putting off forever. Ever since I wanted to join a band, I was like, okay, I'm going to join a band, but I got to do this because we're talking like 16 years old, like, and now I'm 38. So like,
holy shit! So that's half your life. Yeah.
You know, about freaking time.
Yeah. I want to touch on that for sure, and I'm going to dig into it, but I still have some more questions about session work. You've toured with Inhuman Condition. You've toured with Inhuman Condition and Ryujin. What was that like? Because that's a completely different beast versus the studio work.
Yeah, that was awesome on both occasions. Both bands, awesome. Nothing but great times. Great bands, great people.
Crawling
in both
into
bands.
A van with Terry Butler across the States, just unthinkable.
Dude, I mean, that was a great experience, man. I fucking love Terry.
He's the man. Yeah.
He's the man. He's a great guy, and I felt so privileged to be in a van with him and hearing all of these awesome stories.
Absolutely.
You know, I had a lot of questions, and he answered them all, and he was happy. He was happy to answer
cool
them.
Like that.
Yeah, and like, once again, you know, a friend for life. I mean, like, I love Terry. He's such a good human being. Like, he's got such a good heart. And Jeremy and Taylor are great fucking guys. You know, and Jeremy's wife, Deidre, she was doing merch for them too. She's awesome.
All the photo stuff too, I think she does.
Photo stuff too, yeah. I mean, she's great. She's really another really talented person. I mean, just lots of talented people, and like being at their place in Florida, rehearsing and stuff, and just like the house that Metal built, you know, cool house, you know, great people. I love Jeremy, Taylor, Terry. You know, those guys are friggin' awesome. And with Ryujin, it was that came of basically I met Hypocrisy's booking agent, who ended up working with us right before we split up.
The heart of music, if my brain is remembering correctly.
Correct. Moritz Herringer from Heart of Music. And I was basically like, dude, you got to get me on something, man. I was bugging him like every week, like, dude, come on. I know it was one of your bands that needs a drummer or something. Finally, he hit me up and said, hey, can you do this tour? And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And so I did the tour with Ryujin in Europe. It was a 7-week tour, super long tour.
Crazy.
Great, amazing tour. I love those guys too. It was a lot of fun to play. It's basically like Japanese Bodum.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So what's the vibe difference? Obviously, with the Agonist breaking up and then hopping and then like touring with a band that's about to break up and then touring as a session musician, what were the differences there? The vibe had to have been very different, and the weight of the obligations of this is my band versus I'm just filling in for someone else's band.
Well, to be completely frank with you, the vibe was lighter because all I have to do is play my drums really well. That's the only thing I have to focus on. And I mean, if that's all you have to focus on tour and everything else is okay, I mean, touring is the best thing ever.
I agree, yeah.
It's so much fucking fun. If you have a place to sleep, you know, number one main thing, and your job is laid out, and that's exactly what it is, and you don't have to worry about other stuff. I mean, it's amazing. And that's exactly what it was. Of course, you know, touring with your baby band is gratifying because it's the music you created and you're putting it out there for people, and it's like, it's personally gratifying and for your soul and everything. But I mean, you know, you got to worry about a lot of stuff, and you definitely have a lot more responsibilities.
There's a lot more hats that you're wearing.
And you're more, I mean, I would say I was a lot less stressed with these other bands. Like, in terms of, I always get like stage, like I'm nervous before I go on stage, like always.
Me too. Yeah.
And I mean, I believe that's because we care, you know?
I also agree with that. Yeah.
That's another story. But with those two bands, Inhuman and Ryujin, I noticed I was less nervous before going on stage. Really? And I think it's just...
That's interesting. I would feel that I would be more, especially like the first gig, let's say.
Yeah, the first gig,
trying
of course.
To remember everything, because the muscle memory is not there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I practice like a hell of a lot before I do these things, and it's not only the practice; it's linking back to the session stuff. Not only that, but I will go listen to this stuff over and over. I know I'm walking my dogs, listening to stuff. I'm going to the store, listening. Burning it into my brain, and that takes a lot of time and mental space too.
Yes.
But when I go on tours or whatever, that's what I do. I just I burn it into my brain, and I practice as much as I can. And I'll play mental games like, what's the next riff? What's the beat? Oh, you got it. Good. All right, you're good.
What's this next part? You get a cookie.
Yeah. And if my brain if I can get all the sequences, then I'm the most comfortable, because physically it's gonna just work itself out.
That is true. That's reassuring when I'm on stage, if I know what the next thing is, because I actually had a dream last night, because we're going on tour in a week, right, that I forgot the words to a song, and it bothered me. It happened in my dream last night. I just remembered it right now. But if you know what the next thing is, it just it's like this chain of command that just follows itself for some reason. It's like I don't know. It's a strange muscle memory thing again.
It's like you don't have to think about it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good technique. That's a really good idea. That.
It's like if you burned it in, then you don't have to think about it. And
take notes, people.
I mean, for studio, it's really easy, because you can make yourself notes, or I'll make myself audio cues in my click tracks.
Genius, I love it.
Yeah, it helps a lot, especially when I have to do like a 15-minute song, for fuck's sake.
Wow. Okay, that is something. Breathe, relax.
Yeah, no, it's more like Slayer riff, Slayer beats, whatever.
But it's the secret code that you understand.
Yeah, for sure. There's even like tukupaku and like shit like that
in your ears while you're playing. Wow, that's cool.
Why
but
not?
only your ears. It'd be funny if the whole band had to put up with it.
Oh, that would be an absolute hellscape. That would be a great prank, though.
Yes, exactly. Jumping onto other tours in the future, is that something that interests you? Something you'd love to do, like session work wise?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you also putting that on hold to focus on the solo?
I mean, I have no choice. I have to put everything on hold and do this. I have no choice in the matter. It's what I need to do with my life. But I'm always going to be open to doing stuff if the conditions are right, and if the price is right. Because I have to get hired too. I have to get paid here. But I'm much less inclined to hop in a van and not sleep and stuff. And it really depends, though. I did it with Inhuman, but the shows were, everyone was such a tight ship. There was no horsing around. Show's done, pack up, get out of there, no getting wasted, right to the hotel, sleep. It was like a ship. It was a business. So it was amazing, So almost better than a bus if you have good drives enough that you can get a hotel every night. Maybe not better, but it's just as good. Let's say,
Yeah, so if it's constructed like that, and everyone in the band has got their shit together and is not going to party, and when it's someone's turn to drive, they're drunk or something like that, and then that's where the frictions come alive.
Yeah, you want to talk about taking a break? Those guys, Inhuman, none of them drink. So I did that whole tour dry, and it was amazing. It was freaking amazing. It was really amazing. I've got to be honest. Being sober on tour is amazing. You just have so much energy.
It's like a secret gift that you're giving yourself, a superpower.
You better believe when I went back to Montreal in the airport, though, I had myself a vicious pint and a shot, man. Felt like shit immediately after, a headache. What the hell did I do?
Why did I do that to myself? Why do we do this?
Idea. Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Habits, that's why.
Yeah. You got it.
Solo project, let's dig into it. Since you were 16 years old, you've been wanting to compose your own music, perform your own music. The Agonist, you always wrote songs that were included on the records. Every record had at least one or two or three of your songs, which must have been somewhat scratching that creative itch. But how akin is it writing for the Agonist versus writing something truly for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. It scratched the itch, and it was always one song. And if it was two songs, that would happen on the Prisoners album, which was a bonus track on the album. Never three songs, but one song per album. And of course, I contributed a lot of riffs and just ideas for playing things differently or transitions or stuff like that, just from a guitar player perspective. Which I'm very lucky, and I'm gracious that Danny let me do Danny Marino, the main songwriter of the Agonist, let me, do one song, and I mean, per album or contribute stuff. But he asked for it. He was like, "Oh, it'd be great if you could, in the beginning." So I was like, "Yeah, of course, I would love to do that to help write."
I can't remember. We probably talked about it last time. Sorry to cut you off. Was that guitar came first or drums came first for you?
I was first a guitar player.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now you can continue. No, sorry.
Yeah, started guitar when I was like 12. And got lessons I haven't got drum lessons, but I got guitar lessons. The difference is, it's funny. There's a difference for sure. But if you know the songs that I wrote for the Agonist and you're going to hear my stuff, you're going to know it's me. Because I will just say it, like I'm confident in saying it, I have my own sound. And I'm really happy about it. It's not like I don't know what to call it. I don't know, and I know a lot of bands say that, but like I mean it. Like I really feel like I have my own sound, and other people have told me that too. So actually, I had songs wrote for Agonist stuff. I had a lot of stuff wrote for Agonist, and I was like, when I decided, okay, I'm going to do my solo project once and for all now. I look back at that stuff and I scrapped it all, and I rewrote
because it
everything.
didn't fit your sound.
Because I was always writing for like, what can Danny be comfortable with playing to? And that would be Agonist-ish, but also putting my own thing in there. But now it's like I don't have to think about that. So I just have to think about me and like whatever's going to make me happy. So yeah, of course I took a couple parts and riffs from those things, but I trashed it all and rewrote everything. Rewrote completely new songs from the ground up. I'm at and let me tell you, I have a lot of songs that I've trashed. I have a lot.
That's okay.
I've never done this.
It's okay
great
to throw things out. What makes you throw out a song?
There's no cohesiveness in it. I won't have any songs that are just riffs on my album. Like I really like songs. Like that's the most important thing for me. And it has to be like catchy. This album is really catchy, but at the same time it's progressive. It's hard to describe. And every song is completely different from the other song. But it's all me. And so if I don't feel like a song from front to back is telling a whole story and, with a proper, if it doesn't flow, basically, if I feel like I'm in a different song by the end, then I'll scrap it. And the thing is, that's really hard for me because I write so ADHD, dude. Like I will write like one riff and then I'll be like, oh, this riff fits. And I'm like, later, like, what the hell? It does not fit at all, dude. I mean, it fits in the same key. But like, if I just let my brain go, I would write a song with like 6 different styles of metal in it, but it's not a good song. It's just a bunch of parts. So for me, the hardest thing is like condensing it into like an idea, like that's a song is like a story and it's a song you want to listen to again. And it's not just like a collection of riffs or something like that.
I like that. A song is a story.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the first person to take that approach at all.
No, but I like it. I like it. Just the way you said it.
Yeah, like I really like songs. I really like hooks and well-written stuff and stuff that sticks to you. And I don't mean commercial bubblegum. I mean like there's a way to write music and you can, doesn't matter what genre it is, that will appeal to people and that flows well and that is more accessible, and I mean, you can choose to do the complete opposite. There's no fucking rules here. But what I want to do is something that's spacey, but really accessible.
But heavy still.
Of course, yeah, of course. But it's very melodic. My project. It's very, very, very melodic.
That's beautiful. When you scrap stuff, do you throw it away forever, or do you come back and pick at the piece?
I might pick at the pieces for sure.
Because ideas are great, like some ideas are just too great to just throw away forever.
Often what happens is like I'll put together this stuff and I'm like, man, that one part is like so good, but it's so good that everything else sucks. And I'm like, I can't figure out how to branch it out from that part well enough. So I'll be like, I just got to put it to rest. And then a couple of weeks later, I'll come back. I'll be like, that part. And then I'll just be playing guitar and then I'll hit something else. And then, oh, there it is. Maybe I can do something with that.
Sometimes the rest is really important when writing.
Yeah.
Just honestly, a little break and stepping away. When you're too close to something, it's sometimes you're obscured.
Yeah. I mean, if I could have it my way, the best ideas are the ones that come to me like from above, like from the ether. melodies that are incessant in my head, and I'm like, okay.
That comes to that, and I was going to ask that. Is it stuff that you write in your head, or is it stuff that you write on the guitar?
I'd say it's 80% head based.
That's really cool. So it comes in your head, and you have to figure it out on the guitar.
Yeah, exactly. And then depending on who knows, sometimes everything else will flow from that really, really quickly. And that's the best kind of song. My best songs are when I have that idea and I'm like, okay, and I track the idea, I track the melody, and then that's the next part. And it's not hard at all. It's just like, there it is. That's what it is. I don't have to think or anything or second guess. I'm not thinking. I'm just blah.
Yeah, you're releasing, just outputting, opening the floodgates and letting the ideas out. That's so cool. John Levasseur was like that. He'd write in his head, and then he'd have to figure it out on the guitar. But that's what he did with the whole self-titled, which was just crazy back in the day.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
very crazy. So you're. I know that you're doing this because you wrote me and asked me and told me and showed me stuff. You're doing everything on this, which means you're also going to handle, obviously, the drums, the guitar, the bass, but you're also going to do vocals. And this is the first time that you're going to do anything vocal-wise on a release. Am I correct there?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
absolutely. Is
that something you ever envisioned doing back when you were 16, when you were writing all this material, or when you envisioned, like, imagining having your own project or making your own music? Did you ever anticipate that you would be the vocalist on the project?
Yep.
Oh, cool. So I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a lot of output to do this. And, just being a drummer in the band for 17 years.
17 years. Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's like the Agonist was like my life, dude. Like, all the experiences I've had, it's like I would never trade that. But, like, it's not enough. Like, it's not exactly what I want to do. I'm not just a drummer, I'm a songwriter. I'm an artist,
It's
and I'm totally comfortable with saying that. I don't feel pretentious at all saying that because I mean it.
It's interesting that, like, how sometimes we just get caught into things and the whirlwind of being in a touring band and releasing records and writing records and the amount of time and energy that goes into that you put your own true passion on the back burner for 17 years. And you needed the band to stop for you to grant yourself this wish, this gift to release your own music for once.
Kinda, yeah. I could have done it while the band was still active, but we build our sense of identity, a lot of people, and we get comfortable with that. And like you said, we sometimes we lose track of, not lose track, but I guess we're too comfortable, And now I'm just like uncomfortable, and I'm like I'm on my own. So, yeah, good point. Maybe I needed the band to break up from
for this to happen.
Kick myself in the ass to do this. Yeah.
So vocals, how are you approaching vocals? How are you approaching doing? You wrote me and you were like, you can tell me if I suck. It's basically the gist of the message you sent me, and I was like, no, you sound fine. It's great. Just keep going,
dude. Yeah, I got a lot better since that recording.
That was like months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I took a couple of lessons for harsh vocals with Sébastien Cloteau.
He's the best. I was hoping you were going to say that. He is the man.
He is great. I love his approach. He's so passionate, and I'm really passionate too. So I really I lock in on that. I totally appreciate that. And but to be honest with you, there is a lot of clean singing on this album.
Really? Okay, so it's really melodic. When you're mentioning melodic, it's intense. It's but it's got melody and clean vocal melody.
A lot of clean vocals. Like right now, I'm having to tell myself, dude, you need to write another fucking heavy song with a lot of screaming because there's too much clean vocals, and I don't want to come off as soft either. But a lot of what's coming out is requiring clean vocals, yeah, and it's a fucking challenge for me, but I think I'm doing a good job. And
I'm excited. And this I wasn't anticipating. I'm very excited.
Yeah, dude. I don't want this to be a typical heavy metal project. This is really it's really spacey and melodic and different and weird and me. And my best song is a song that is really intense with blast beats it starts right away. It's in your face, and then I start singing
over the blast beats, or it pulls back. Okay.
Yeah, like melodic, like, you know, and yeah, I mean, I just can't wait to put it out so people can know what I'm talking about.
Very exciting. Writing alone versus writing with a group. I love asking solo artists this. How do you know when it's good enough and when it's finished?
The difference with a group is it's not only up to you. Yeah. You know?
But is there a moment where you're like, this is done and this is finished, and you feel that? Because, yeah, when you're writing your stuff.
Yeah, I think it's actually a bit easier, actually. Yeah, I think it's a bit easier. I mean, you're always going to be wondering, what if I could put this here and that there and whatever. But I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, it's just like one mind instead of five. It's just like, okay, well, I'm deciding it's done. There it
is. So what are the next steps getting this out? What are your plans here? You're putting everything on hold, basically, all the session work to finish the solo project. What is the next plan? Does it have a name? Can you tell me this? I don't know if you can.
Yeah, so I have 2 more sessions to do. I just booked a studio date in November. It is September 26th right now. See, because I need like 1 month to learn this album I have to track. I'm actually going to Saudi Arabia in December.
I wasn't sure we could talk about it, so I'm excited that you brought it up.
Yeah, for a random, one of my clients I did their album with was like, hey, I got this festival, Saudi Arabia, want to come? Like, hell yeah, I've never been there. Of course, I'd love to go. And then after that, I have 1 more album to do, session album. So that's really, I really need to finish this stuff. And then my plan is I want to have all the songs in place. I'm still trying to figure out how many songs it'll be, probably 8. And then I'm going to start a crowdfund. And I'm really hoping that will work out. I'm pretty sure it will. I seem to have a decent amount of support, you know, throughout Agonist fans and people that follow me online and stuff. And then I'm going to track the album, and I really want Donaldson to mix it.
Well, you got to book him now because he's goddamn busy. But I'm sure that he will because he loves you, and I know that he does.
I love him too. I mean, there's so many like other options I could go with, but it's so comfortable for me. Like, you know, he knows that I've told him, I'm like, dude, I need you. But yeah, so, and then I'm going to basically start, I'm going to put it out. I'm going to market it myself, but I would also really like to hire a publicist if I could afford it. And I think I know who I want to hire to. And as
you
for
want
the
it to be independent. You do not want to jump onto a label.
I'm not sure about that, actually. I'm 70% independent leaning right now. I kind of like the idea of doing everything, like sending out albums from my apartment and stuff, and like having my lady help me, you know, like a fun little thing, and like making it super personal, and like putting like a thank you note in every single album, you know, like I can totally see that, you know. I don't care if I just want a small following, and if I can get on a couple festivals, tours here and there, not even tours, just like, you know, I'm not even really sure what's going to happen. It might be like people might really like it, and then people might not give a shit, you know. I just need to do it for myself, and I believe in it. And then after I put it out, well, who knows what'll happen, you know. I just need to get this done for now, and I have a couple of videos I'm going to do too.
Cool. Like you have concepts already built?
No, I don't have the concept. Well, I mean, I sort of do for one song. I'd like to do 2 videos, I think, if I can afford it. I mean, I definitely know what I want for the album cover. I have the whole concept laid out in my head for them. Yeah, I'm not sure about the name yet. I'm debating whether to make a band name, you know, or self-title it. And I think I'm actually leaning towards just using my own name. Yeah, my only gripe about that is like, I'm not really into people that go by their...
You'll have to change your name so that it's not your name anymore.
Well, a lot of people that's an option, you know. Like people like have like pseudonyms.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, like stage names. Yeah,
like stage names. That's it. You know, I mean,
well,
a lot of people.
You said the right word. I think I just said the more less educated version.
Yeah, like, you know, like Tiesto comes to mind. Like, what is that? You know, that's like a personality. It's something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure about the name part yet, but I definitely know
That's a hard thing
cover...
to do. That I wouldn't know what to call a new thing. It's a lot.
Yeah, and then beyond that, I'm just gonna post about it a lot, and I'm gonna post
You are
little
very good at
sections of
social
songs.
media.
I just like talking. I mean, like I'm sure you'll notice, or anyone else listening to this, like I'm just like blah 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 blah.
No,
Like,
you're great. I'm very happy.
I mean, awesome, dude. Like when it's something I care about, like music and like this, I could just fucking go on and on. That's the thing about Sebastien Croteau doing these lessons, is that like he was just so passionate. I'm like, yes, 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 you know.
More information. Give it to me.
Yeah, he gave me a lot of great tips. Yeah, I just want to feel like the only thing I have to worry about in my life, besides, you know, making money and paying the bills, is my project from my heart, from my soul, with lyrics that are really, it's really a vulnerable, personal project. It's not about like death and Satan, you know. It's about like things that I've experienced, and you know, there's themes of spirituality, depression, death, paranormal. That's kind of the vibe of it, lyric wise. So everything's really like personal to me, and it's just a super vulnerable album.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear more of it. I'm excited to just dig into under the skin of who Simon McKay is. I feel like that's what this album is going to be. It's going to be like a raw form of yourself that you're presenting to the world.
Yeah, thanks for asking me about it. I mean, it's so much fun to talk about it. You know, like I really appreciate all the questions. Like,
I have one more question though, because you prefaced, or you envisioned performing once live. With you doing everything, what instrument are you going to play? Are you going to play drums? Are you going to play guitar live and sing? What are you going to do?
I'm not the drummer of this band.
Oh,
only on
cool.
albums. I'm going to do guitar and vocals live.
That's
sick.
A whole
different challenge, and I'm factoring all that into the way I write the songs, you know?
Very interesting.
Yeah. I was just going to say that's the biggest challenge. Luckily, though, I'm already a drummer, so it's just a question of independence, you know? And like, I can play guitar, I can sing, let's put them together. And
keep doing it. Keep practicing. I'm sure you'll get it. I like asking this question to bands that, you know, like you're starting out, sort of. We can say this project is starting out. You're talking about playing shows. If you could put yourself in front of the perfect crowd, what bands would be on that lineup? Let's pick like a headliner, a direct support, and then you. That way, your future project that is still nameless, hypothetically the Simon McKay Band, is playing before the perfect crowd that you would pick up a bunch of fans.
Jesus, man. That's really hard. I think because of how varied and melodic the songs are, like it's really hard to tell. Like I can just pick my favorite bands. You know?
That way you have a good time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, of course, like I do draw inspiration from those bands, you know, which are Opeth, Emperor, Enslaved. There's definitely a couple other ones I'm leaving out there. Sometimes there's like a weird, like almost dark alternative rock vibe to it, but I'm trying not to do that too much because I don't want it to go too in that direction. But that comes out of me.
It keeps leaking in.
Yeah, it really does. Like it's almost to the point where like one day I'm gonna have to do like a rock album, like an alternative rock album, or like a goth rock album, or something like that. Or I'm not exactly sure what. One thing I'm really proud of is there's no orchestration whatsoever, and it's very dense though melodically. There's a lot of counter melodies and a lot of ambient atmospheric melodies, but it's all guitar, and that's something I'm really proud of because I kind of feel like the
orchestrated music is definitely overdone right now.
Yeah, and I don't want any electronic elements on this album either. So it's just like guitar, you know. That's everything you hear is from my hands.
So cool.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you've taken your wound of losing the Agonist and have nursed it and healed it into something truly healthy. And you seem to be thriving, and you're really, really being creative, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much, dude. That really means a lot because you know, I've known you for a really long time, and you're an incredibly talented dude yourself, and I know you mean it. So I do,
because you know we're more than, you know, that comfortable identity that we like to craft ourselves in.
Yeah, for sure. It's really remarkable how much one sense of identity is like you don't realize it until it starts to like shift a little bit, or like, oh shit, like I really, like I like to think of myself as just I'm just me, you know, like who doesn't? But the reality of it is, you know, the Agonist was a huge sense of my identity.
Mm-hmm. I find myself in that I'm in parent groups because I'm a parent, right? And I find myself within the first 5 to 10 minutes, it comes up that, oh yeah, I'm a touring musician. You know, it's like this thing that is such a, but I would like to, I feel like I'm bragging. I feel like it's a huge part of my identity, and it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't really truly understand.
No.
And that's okay. That's totally fine. You know?
I like to, I play with the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're huge, super big.
Well, you are, but I mean,
in circles.
Yeah, I remember like my uncle asked me one time, like years ago, like, so you like busted your ass? He was asking me about a tour, barely made money, slept like shit. Like, so why'd you do it? I'm like, why? Like, what do you mean, why did I do it?
Do you understand what I just did? Yeah.
Yeah, like I just like gushed to you about this whole tour, and you asked me why. Couldn't you tell by my face and how I sound? Like, no, they don't understand because they're not artistic people, and that's totally fine. You know, it really. I find myself like not really finding that many people that really understand the situation I'm in life right now. After having been in a band that was, you know, had moderate success, and that being like such a big thing, and like now I'm out and I'm just like, whoa, where am I? You know, and a lot of the feelings, you know, and like all the stuff that built up from touring, and like a lot of bad things, that, you know, like trauma, basically, like PTSD, basically, you know, and like I'm kind of just like sitting with that. And I did actually talk to kind of like a coach. What would you call her? She was experienced with like acrobats, artists, athletes, and stuff that have like she's basically a coach, not a therapist, you know. And yeah, that was interesting.
Because it is true that we really, there's so much trauma that happens, things that happen, but then when we're in the band, everything is okay, sort of, because the next tour is going to be better, is what we tell ourselves. And then when there's no next tour is when you have to really open it all up, maybe.
Yeah, totally, dude. That's a really good point. And you're also, generally, people are trying to make things work, you know, depending on the person, of course.
Yeah.
So to make things work, you can't rock the boat too much, because then...
Yeah, and then it ends up becoming you know, you're the issue. When in all reality, you should be, you know, be heard.
Yeah, so, you know, you end up keeping a lot of this stuff inside for years and years and years and years and years and years, and that's not good, you know.
But you're cathartically getting it out with this new music.
I'd like to think so.
I hope you are. Yeah.
I can't wait for my sessions to get done. Like, sorry, any clients that are watching this right now. Anyways, they know because I've told them.
I love doing the session work, but I can't wait to be finished.
I'm being totally honest with you, dude. Like, it's all I can think about. Like, my project is all I can fucking think about right now. When I have the luxury to be thinking about it, because of course life has all kinds of other stuff going on.
Life likes to hit us. I'm excited for it, and I can't wait to hear it. And you could send it to me before it's finished. That'd make me happy. I have one last question for you. I can't remember if I asked you last time. I perused the show notes from the last time, episode 81. I'm not certain I had the question yet. It's the classic Vox and Hops wrap-up question. What is your hangover cure?
Smoothie.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you did tell me this. Now I remember, because I do that. I do that, too. Yeah. What do you put in your smoothie? I'm sure I said that, too.
Just everything I can. If I'm hungover, I'm going to throw the whole kitchen sink at it. Just like all the vitamins. Like, I'm going to overload on the fruits. Normally, I don't put too much fruits, but I have smoothie every day anyhow. But I'm going to do like turmeric, black pepper, kale, apple, banana, blueberries. I'm going to put ginger in there, chia seeds, like the whole kitchen sink, you know. And there's no way that's not going to make you feel a little bit better. And I really like CBD when I'm hungover too. Really like it a lot. Yeah. I like CBD in general, though.
Simon, thank you so much for taking the time hanging out with me, talking about life, talking about music, talking about this new solo project. I'm very, very, very excited about it, and I'm excited for you about it. Thank you. You rule. I promise it won't be 400 episodes before our next thing.
Dude, thank you so much for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure whenever you want. And just thanks for asking me questions about my project, man. It's awesome.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening right today. And you know that I love and appreciate that. Man, this was an awesome conversation. I am so stoked that Simon is doing this solo project. I am beyond excited for him to wrap it up, to track it so that he can share it with all of you, using music to heal his wounds. It's just amazing. Super inspiring. I love you, Simon. Can't wait to hang out with you again. Get ready, people, because this solo project's coming, and it's going to be awesome. The Vox&Hops Metal Podcast is brought to you by Sound Telemedia and Evergreen Podcasts. I hope you have a glorious rest of the year. That's right, this is the final episode for 2024. The Vox&Hops Metal Podcast will return with brand new episodes on January 2nd, 2025. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year. But most importantly, I hope that you all remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox&Hops heads.